Welcome back to Blacks in Motion. Now I'm going to go ahead and jump into this issue of steroids. And yes, it's with the MLB, baseball, America's pastime. Something that we've had to accept is that the steroids made it into the game and they've never left. And obviously it's going to start affect some of the players that's in the league right now. Yeah, Alex Rodriguez from the Yankees and Ron Braun from the Brewers. Those two guys are on the list right now that was supplied by Tony Bosch from Biogenesis Incorporated. Yeah, that was like Balco. You know, they kind of whipped up these substances that somehow made their performances enhance. But hey, look, the MLB is looking to go ahead and hand out about 100-game suspension, which is pretty substantial, seeing that some of these guys may be first-time offenders. But I want to talk about the top 3 steroid scandals in sports. Not to waste any time, let's start off with number 3. And I'm going to go ahead and say what? The 1988 Seoul Olympics in the 100-meter dash featuring Ben Johnson and Carl Lewis. Yeah, Ben Johnson came out the blocks looking like a baby Hulk, and he came out and set a new world record at 9.79. Well, of course, the next day, he tested positive for steroids. Now, it's a lot of conspiracy going around about who was in the testing room and whether or not he was on steroids for 7 years, 7 months, 7 days. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, he got stripped of his gold and it was awarded to Carl Lewis. Now, did that make it any better? Not exactly, because not too long ago, they went back and tested old samples, even way back from 1988, and Carl Lewis was one of the guys that came up dirty as well. Not good for track. Steroid scandal number 2. I'm going to say has to do with a bicycle, Tour de France. Yeah, Lance Armstrong. Now, this guy came out of nowhere, literally nowhere. Now, on top of that, he was diagnosed with cancer and he beat it. And he came back a few years later to win the Tour de France, not once, not twice, 3, 4, 5, 7 times in a row. From 1999 to 2005, Lance Armstrong was the only name synonymous with the Tour de France. But lo and behold, he ended up on Oprah's couch telling everybody, yes, I did steroids. And it came out from teammate Floyd Landis, who tested dirty late and then implicated a lot of people, which ultimately led to Lance Armstrong admitting to using steroids. 7 times in a row, too good to be true? Absolutely too good to be true. And the number 1 sports scandal that I'm going to talk about, yes, is baseball. And I'm going to talk about Barry Bonds. Yeah, Barry Bonds. We know him for the record holder for single season home runs and taking over the all-time home run hits leader. Yeah, a lot of people don't want him in the Hall of Fame because they figure that he was too wrapped up with Balco and steroids, and he's been to court and he's been back from court, and the people say he used it and he didn't, and I've been injected and I rubbed this on my arm and I did this and my head grew so many inches. But the truth of the matter is, he came in during the steroid era. There were some things that were legal then that aren't legal now, and there's some things that were just flat out all the way legal. If you ask me, Barry Bonds is going to suffer whether he used them or not, because people don't recognize him as the record holder, and I doubt he's going to get in the Hall of Fame. So the problem with performance-enhancing drugs that I look at across the board for sports is now when something amazing happens, we always have to question it. And it shouldn't be that way, because sports is one of the greatest things in America, part of our history, part of our pastime, and it shouldn't be that way. But hey, stay tuned, and I'll talk about something on a little bit of a lighter note. But stay logged on right here to Blacks in Motion.